Welcome back. We got TDA practice with Barrington Irving, pilot and educator. We're gonna get into it. Look at that amazing picture too. Look at how they did that with the paints, made it look like the little sunrise or sunset. Oh, I love it. Oh man, such artistry in this world. By the way, as we read through today, you're not going to hear Mr. Surface playing the piano. You're going to hear some less talented Grieg, his piano concerto in A minor. It's the second movement of it. And I'd like you to read the orange words out loud as always, while we also have this playing in the background. This is from New York Public Radio, a little write up about this exact movement here. The adagio is where Grieg's talents are really on melancholy and longing without being stayed. The of the second movement, again, the lower strings playing in their upper registers. Aching, yearning. The doesn't return into 2 full minutes in. And when it does, it's hesitant, as if trying out a few before sticking to just one. There's a bit of a between the orchestra and the soloist, but it's slow and easy, like having a long while sitting stretched out on a patch of grass. No doubt there are sparks of and surprise. But I'm in awe of how this portion of the concerto is. So that's the music that you'll be hearing that'll be punctuating our activities with this wonderful story. Take a moment, please, and turn on the highlighter, turn it on yellow, circle that whole fist, and you can write all above it because that's the whole unit. That's all of Unit 3, which is focused on when it is right to take a stand. Okay? So when you see things like argument, people, rights, right? All of those are some good words to highlight that go with that. When is it right to take a stand? The question that frames every story in this. Now look on the right there. You see that plane taken off. Ooh la la. Switch on over to orange, and do you see anything that has to do with when it is right to take a stand? I'm going to give you a little clue. Some of it might have to do with this word when. When. All right, so that's my little clue, and I'd like you to try to find 3 words that you feel go along with that essential question. If you run out with the plane, you can go back over to the fist. Remember, the fist does have parts of Washington Irving in there and stuff. Not Washington Irving, pardon me, Barrington Irving. But the full text that we're going to concentrate on is in the plane, all right? Because that's just the one text, okay? Take the time to do so now. Excellent. So on, on, on. The slide 4. Prompt. And please tap your forehead twice. Tap, tap, tap your forehead one time. Tap, right? We're going to foreground this prompt as we go through the story. We're going to keep it in front of us. We're going to keep it in the front of our mind. So move the first red dot on top of Barrington Irving's face, and if you can move the other one next to the word prompt, and let's read it together. Even in nonfiction, authors will indirectly characterize their subjects by giving the reader revealing dialogue, actions, and descriptions while withholding a personality trait. What personality trait best matches Barrington Irving, and what indirect characterizations support that trait? Write an essay using the article. Take the time to find the 2 most important words in that prompt now, please. Yes. Yes. So there goes that plane taken off. Bye, Barrington Irving, presumably. All right. So background. One way to travel around the world is to become a pilot. In order to get a professional pilot's license, a person must be at least 18 years old, pass a written exam, and practice flying for more than 1,000 hours. Pilots need to be able to communicate clearly, solve problems, observe and react quickly, and know how to use aircraft, computer, and navigation systems. Barrington Irving is very good at rising above obstacles. Literally. Raised in Miami's inner city, surrounded by crime, poverty, and failing schools, he beat the odds to become the youngest person and only African American ever to fly solo around the world. He built a plane himself, made his historic flight, graduated magna cum laude from an aeronautical science program, and founded a dynamic educational nonprofit. Then he turned 28. Whoa! So let's break down just that first part together. We are going to use our red dots, just like we already did, for the prompt to find two important words from the prompt. We're going to use the purple dots to find two important parts of the text, the words. And we're going to use the orange part to find an important visual that might help us to address the prompt as well. Let's take a moment. Ooh. So let's move our two red dots next to this word prompt, please. Let's take a moment and drag our two purple dots next to the letter B up here by Barrington. And if you could please put this yellow dot right next to this blue skyscraper over here, presumably in Miami. All right, let's take a moment now and reread the prompt, and then we'll pick out two important words from it. Even in nonfiction, authors will indirectly characterize their subjects by giving the reader revealing dialogue, actions, and descriptions while withholding a personality trait. What personality trait best matches Barrington Irving, and what indirect characterizations support that trait? Write an essay using the article. Please highlight two important words, please, in red. Yes, yes, yes. Now, let's look at the sort of, for lack of a better word, dark aquamarine letters for paragraph one. Barrington Irving is very good at rising above obstacles. Literally, raised in Miami's inner city, surrounded by crime, poverty, and failing schools, he beat the odds to become the youngest person and only African American ever to fly solo around the world. He built a plane himself, made his historic flight, graduated magna cum laude from an aeronautical science program, and founded a dynamic educational nonprofit. Then he turned 28. I'd like you to find two parts using those red purple dots that you feel help to match this prompt here, right? You've already matched up a word there, so now I want you to find some part here that helps to support or answer this prompt over there. Take the time to do so now with those purple dots. Yay. All right, and now finally, I'd like you to find part of the picture using that orange dot that you feel helps to answer the prompt or support the prompts or contextualize the prompt a little bit. Please take the time to do so now with that orange dot for the picture. Go ahead. Yes. His message for kids: the only thing that separates you from CEOs in corner offices or scientists in labs is determination, hard work, and a passion for what you want to achieve. The only person who can stop you from doing something great is you. Even if no one believes in your dream, you have to pursue it. The secret, he believes, is having a dream in the first place, and that starts with powerful learning experiences that inspire kids to pursue careers, particularly in science, technology, engineering, and math. The moment of inspiration for Irving came at age 15, while he was working in his parents' bookstore. One of their customers, a Jamaican born professional pilot, asked Irving if he'd ever thought about becoming a pilot. I told him I didn't think I was smart enough, but the next day he gave me the chance to sit in the cockpit of the commercial airplane he flew, and just like that, I was hooked. There are probably millions of kids out there like me who find science and exploration amazing, but lack the confidence or opportunity to take the next step. To follow his dream, Irving turned down a full football scholarship to the University of Florida. He washed airplanes to earn money for flight school and increased his flying skills by practicing at home on a $40 flight simulator video game. Then another dream took hold: flying solo around the world. He faced more than 50 rejections for sponsorship before convincing several manufacturers to donate individual aircraft components. He took off with no weather radar, no de icing system, and just $30 in his pocket. I like to do things people say I can't do. After 97 days, 26 stops, and dozens of thunderstorms, monsoons, snowstorms, and sandstorms, he touched down to a roaring crowd in Miami. Stepping from the plane, it wasn't all the fanfare that changed my life. It was seeing so many young people watching and listening. I had no money, but I was determined to give back with my time, knowledge, and experience. He's been doing it ever since. So let's break it down again. All right. I'd like you to move these two red dots over to the word prompt. And we're going to go through this prompt again. And I'd like you to choose the two most important words in the prompt. Please take the time to locate those now. Now, I'd like you to take those two purple dots and to put one on top of the number 5 there, please, and to put the other purple dot on top of the number 6 right there, please. Now that you've got those purple dots in place, I'd like you to reread those two paragraphs and to find some parts of the text that help answer or support or contextualize the prompt on the left. Please take the time to do so now with those purple dots. Nice. Now, take a look at this picture. A lot going on there, a little bit of metaphor going on there. See if there's anything in that picture that corresponds with that prompt on the left. Do so now. Excellent. Now, Irving's nonprofit organization, Experience Aviation, aims to boost the numbers of youth in aviation and other science and math related careers. Middle and high school students attend summer and after school programs tackling hands on robotics projects, flight simulator challenges, and field trips to major industries and corporations. In his Build and Soar program, 60 students from failing schools built an airplane from scratch in just 10 weeks and then watched Irving pilot it into the clouds. We want to create a one of a kind opportunity for students to take ownership and accomplish something amazing, he notes. Meaningful, real world learning experiences fire up the neurons in kids' minds. If you don't do that, you've lost them. Purposeful, inspiring activities increase the chance they'll stay on that learning and career path. We've had one young lady receive a full scholarship to Duke University as a math major, and several young men are now pilots, engineers, and aircraft mechanics. Let's break down this paragraph and answer a multiple choice question whose type you might see on the PSSAs. Ooh. So, in this paragraph from Barrington Irving, pilot and educator, what key, and I notice that key there is in bold. So you know what? I'm supposed to read the question twice, and along the way, I'm supposed to box important words. Key seems important to me, so I'm going to put a box around it with the color, I don't know. Is that puce? I don't know. But that reddish color next to orange. What key concept does the underlined sentence develop? And I think that word develop is important, as is the word concept. We want to create a one of a kind opportunity for students to take ownership and accomplish something amazing. Irving notes, meaningful, real world learning experiences fire up the neurons in kids' minds. If you don't do that, you've lost them. Purposeful, inspiring activities increase the chance they'll stay on that learning and career path. And here's that underlined sentence. Okay? Here's that underlined sentence. We've had one young lady receive a full scholarship to Duke University as a math major, and several young men are now pilots, engineers, and aircraft mechanics. Okay. So, what key concept does the underlined sentence develop? Does that underlined sentence develop? A, students who participate in experience aviation programs are more likely to succeed than those who do not. Well, that phrase, and let's switch it on over to blue here. That phrase, those who do not, I don't think that's mentioned, especially in that underlined sentence, right? So I'm going to switch over to pencil and I'm going to cross out A. B, experience aviation is accomplishing its goal of increasing participation in math and science careers. Well, I don't see any false notes like I did in A, so I'm going to put a little question mark next to B. C, the success of experienced aviation participants prove that teaching techniques are effective. Hmm. Teaching techniques of providing real world experiences, but the underlying sentence doesn't say much about real world experiences. That seems to be about, it would be a different sentence that you would underline in the paragraph. So I'm going to say that the techniques in particular, not really mentioned. So I'm going to X out of that. And D, more girls need to be encouraged to study math and science and pursue related careers. It's true that a girl's killing it there, but I don't think anything is even intimated about that, which only leaves us with B being the correct answer. Please take a moment to make your screen look like Mr. Surface's. Excellent work. It's a great way to reach a few hundred kids every year, he says, but I also wanted to find a way to inspire on a larger scale. How about millions of kids? Irving's next endeavor will transform a jet into a flying classroom that will circle the globe sharing science, technology, engineering, math, geography, culture, and history. They left out ELA. This isn't just an aircraft. It's an exploration vehicle for learning that will teach millions of kids in ways they've never been taught before, making them part of the expedition and research. A web based experience will make it easy for kids to participate at home and school, voting on everything from where Irving should make fuel stops to what local food he should sample. He plans to call classrooms from the cockpit, broadcast live video from 45,000 feet up, blog with students, collect atmospheric data, communicate with the International Space Station, and wear a NASA bodysuit that transmits his heart rate, blood pressure, and other vital signs. Along the way, kids will have a virtual window on about 75 ground expeditions, including Machu Picchu, the Galapagos Islands, the pyramids, the Serengeti Plains, the Roman Colosseum, the Taj Mahal, and the Great Wall of China. Cameras will provide 360-degree panoramic views of destinations from ancient archaeological sites to Hong Kong skyscrapers. Apps will track adventures such as shark tagging, giving students ongoing location and water temperature data. So cool. A steady stream of challenges will let kids compete to solve problems ranging from evacuating populations after tsunamis to collecting trash in space. We also want to create a forum where kids, parents, and teachers can speak to astronauts, scientists, and other specialists. This Journey for Knowledge flight is scheduled to depart in 2013 and will make Irving the youngest person ever to fly to all 7 continents. Let's take a look at question 5 together real quick. All right? Take a moment and let's look at it together. In Barrington Irving, Pilot and Educator, which statements about the Journey for Knowledge program are true? Choose 3 options. Okay. Well, this is sort of a true or false questions, right? And we need to choose 3, so that seems important. It's in bold as well. Students will not need access to a computer in order to participate in the program. I don't remember that being mentioned at all. Let's cross out A. The program will include communicating with the International Space Station. I do remember him saying that. I'm going to skip it for now. Students in the program will learn more about engineering and technology. I do remember that too. The program's curriculum focuses on history, art, and music. That's wrong. They didn't mention any of those. Irving will personally visit every classroom along the way. I don't remember that. It also seems impossible based on the scale of it. So how many is supposed to choose? There are 3. Well, let's change the highlighter, put it on green, and get F, C, and B, or B, C, and F. Those are the correct answers. Please make your screen look like Mr. Surface's. Nice work. Perhaps Irving's most compelling educational tool is the example his own life provides. After landing his record breaking flight at age 23, he smiled out at the airfield crowd and said, "Everyone told me what I couldn't do. They said I was too young, that I didn't have enough money, experience, strength, or knowledge. They told me it would take forever and I'd never come home. Well, guess what, my man?" So let's break down that last one in terms of our prompt that we're keeping foregrounded. All right, please move your 2 red dots over to the word prompt. Please move the 2 purple dots next to the paragraph 14. And please put the orange dot to the right of the aeroplane. All right, please move the 2 red dots to the 2 most important words in the prompt now. Excellent work. Please move the 2 purple dots to the 2 pieces of text evidence that might work best to answer and address that prompt on the left. Go ahead and use the purple dots now. Excellent work. Now, what part of that picture there might help best address the prompt on the left as well? Take a moment to move that orange dot to a part of the picture. Do so now, please. There you go. Nice work. So we've been through the prompt. Let's break the prompt down one last time, okay? The prompt is saying, even in nonfiction, authors will indirectly characterize their subjects by giving the reader revealing dialogue, dot, actions, dot, and descriptions, dot, while withholding a personality trait. If you don't know what that word withholding means, it means to keep that information to yourself, right? I might withhold my opinion about your outfit, but I might give you a clue and say something like, "Oh, I noticed that you're wearing 2 mismatched shoes," right? I'm withholding that you have terrible taste in fashion, but I'm giving you information. I'm giving you information that tells you what I might be thinking. I'm being indirect with it, in other words. What personality trait best matches Barrington Irving, and what indirect characterizations support that trait? Write an essay using the article. Wow. We know that we're writing about Irving, right? What are some of the other big words there? We know that he's trying to help kids in education and get them into STEM careers, right? We know he loves flying, right? And people told him he couldn't do it. So let's take a moment. What are some other words? And try to find, and let's switch it to orange. Let's try to find 4 words that you feel have something to do with that prompt on the left, or give you some sort of idea or context or background, or remind you of important parts of the article. Please take a moment to highlight those 4 words now. Excellent. Now, on slide 26, you'll notice there's just a body paragraph, right? Which means that there is no, and this is on slide 27, there's no thesis right now, right? There's a body paragraph that talks about, looks like the end of the article. So this might be something, this is probably going to be body paragraph 3. So you can circle body paragraph 3, which means that body paragraph 1, you would write, body paragraph 2, you could write. In body paragraph 3, you would write, but you could use mine as a model to help you almost sentence for sentence there. Okay? So your thesis would be committing to one trait and then having 3 reasons why, right? And then your conclusion would just repeat the same thing. Okay, I would probably type it in text. It's just for the sake of making it big enough for everyone to see. But please take a moment to make your slide 27 look like Mr. Surface's. All right. So let's go one slide back and check out a body paragraph together. All right. It's got little pictures to go along with it to help us break down together what it is you're supposed to do. So let's look at that prompt. Even in nonfiction, authors will indirectly characterize their subjects by giving the reader revealing dialogue, actions, and descriptions while withholding a personality trait. What personality trait best matches Barrington Irving? And what indirect characterizations support that trait? Okay. Let's see if the writer here has a personality trait in this topic sentence. Holy smokes, they do, and they call it as much. Persevering is the personality trait that best matches Barrington Irving. Oh, there's a match again when the author includes his dialogue. Oh, and there's another match up with the prompt right there, right? You also notice it's got Barrington Irving right there. Let's switch to blue. When the author includes, from the beginning to the end of the article, Barrington Irving continually pushes his boundaries to become a pilot, a leader, and a founder of a nonprofit. We'll circle this guy pushing a boulder up a hill, right? And we'll get the word pushes there too. Despite all the doubts, right? And when people are doubting you, they're being haters. So I'm going to highlight haters over here, and I'm going to highlight haters here too. People had their doubts. People were being haters about his ability to do all he accomplished. He said, and here's a quote from the article, "Everyone told me what I couldn't do. They said I was too young." All right, and let's highlight all this in green. Everyone told me what I couldn't do. They said I was too young. I didn't have enough money, experience, or strength, or knowledge. And they told me it would take forever and I'd never come home. Well, guess what? Right? There's the quote. Here's our this noun verb. Switch the purple. This noun, attitude, verb, shows. This noun verb. Repeat after me real quick. This noun verb. This noun verb. Now I'm going to say this noun verb, and you're going to say this attitude shows, okay? This noun verb. This attitude shows. This noun verb. This attitude shows. This noun verb. This attitude shows, right? What you're looking at there and what you just said was a this noun verb, and it will follow every single direct quotation that you include in an essay from now to the end of college. Please always do that. This noun verb shows how persevering he is. If and then he had given up, then he would never have given in to these haters. His important posture of never giving up shows how persevering Barrington Irving was and remains, right? And here's someone giving up here. We'll put an X over that. He's not doing that. He's doing this. He's a leader amongst women and men. All right. Please take a moment to make your screen look a little something like Mr. Surface's, please. All right. So you'll eventually write this essay. There will be some helpful bits, including the word cloud of the article and an example paragraph, as well as some of the quotes that you might want to draw from later on. Good luck. Go get them.